Higher. Yeah.
No more.
One more?
No. I don't know what he's talking about. That's much stronger than Airsoft.
What's up guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video marks the first in a 3-part series about my recent trip to Taiwan thanks to Sabre Industries. This video will focus on my time in the capital city of Taipei, where we exhibited Nerf at MOA Airsoft Expo, plus the more relaxed touristy things that we got up to while we were there. For those of you who might be more from the airsoft side of things, you might be wondering why Nerf? Well, in both Australia, where I'm from, and Singapore, where Sabre are from, airsoft is illegal, so that's why we use high-performance foam blasters instead. Beginning with day one of our trip, we caught a rideshare from the airport to Taipei, about an hour-and-a-half trip. After checking into our hotels very close by to the Taipei World Trade Center, where MOA was going to be held, we grabbed all the Nerf-related gear and made our way over there on foot. Now, this iconic building next door to it is called Taipei 101, and it was the tallest building in the world until it was dethroned in 2009 by the Burj Khalifa. So this is an absolutely massive building. Inside of MOA, we had arrived on day one of Range Day, a special event held in advance upstairs, allowing people the opportunity to get their hands on and actually shoot some airsoft guns from each of the vendor in a safe environment. We got our passes and headed in, and then had the fun process of reassembling our blasters, which had to be broken down to pass security checks out of Singapore. We very quickly made friends with the exhibitors next to us, who were very interested in the way Nerf rifling works, for example. In fact, pretty much all of the airsoft exhibitors came to ask questions at some point or another. We were the black sheep standing out, piquing everyone's interest after all. While we got to assembling our blasters, some of us who had never shot an airsoft gun before got the chance to finally give it a try. And I've got to say that compared to gel blasters, airsoft is far more accurate. Like, it is night and day different. Nerf comes close enough though, which is why we used that the most back home. Conrad finally got to a point in his unpacking that he called me over to film a brand new prototype Sabre blaster, which happened to be an electronically controlled HPA M20, which can fire both semi-auto or full auto, and we were also trialing 11mm darts in it with the same weight as a 13mm, along with an 11mm barrel to suit, pusher, mag, and beaker. I'll come back to that blaster in a bit once it's ready to go. There was quite a lot of assembly to do with that and a lot of other blasters. In the meantime, we were testing whether the higher kinetic energy of a Nerf dart compared to airsoft would damage the wall, which thankfully it did not. Also, it's time to meet one of the most important people who made this trip possible. This is Steven, who runs the store Break Ice in Taiwan. Steven handled a lot of the behind the scenes, including all the blaster and dart rentals for the games you'll see in videos 2 and 3. And now we finally get to the HPA M20. That button on the front left is the selector switch. Let's watch Conrad and a couple of others unload it.
Okay, to work, yeah. You want me to full auto with it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Now, those first few shots had been enough to summon the airsofters over who all wanted to play with it, and we figured it was time to set up a proper target. After sourcing some batteries from a nearby convenience store, we mounted one of Sabre's reactive targets to the wall. These are really cool because they change color when hit. You might have seen them before in our marksman competitions. Now, for some of the airsofters, that target wasn't quite enough. Many of them wanted to feel what high velocity foam darts are like to get hit with, so we kindly obliged. And that is where I got my favorite quote of the day from an airsofter.
One more. Higher. Yeah.
No more.
One more?
No. I don't know what he's talking about. That's much stronger than Airsoft.
Now that wraps up the first range day. From there, a few of us headed out to experience the nightlife of Taiwan. The first thing we did was went and grabbed some delicious Korean barbecue downstairs from the hotel where some of us were staying. And yes, we knocked back a few beers as well. From there, we headed out to an open-air nighttime shopping mall with a vast variety of street food. We also came across a tactical gear shop with an MOA poster on the door, so we couldn't refuse a visit inside of there. That concludes my first day in Taiwan, with the following morning beginning with a meetup of a fellow Australian at the door to my hotel.
Liam and I, being Aussies, have never actually met.
Holy shit, a white guy in Taipei!
How does it feel having a product which is now at a trade show on display for everyone to see?
I mean, I hate using the word because there's an Adam Hill sketch about using the word surreal wrong, but it does. It feels otherworldly. When I had this idea for this design 9 years ago, if future me had said, yeah, one day you're going to be exhibiting this core design in a blaster from another company alongside a whole lot of airsoft companies, I could not believe you. Like, this is so much more than I ever expected to get out of the design, and it's just so humbling to see the support I've received for the design be manifested in such a way. It's an honor to be here. It's exciting.
Now, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but that down there is in the center of the lens now. That's a Sabre booth where we're going to have all the products on display when MOA opens Friday.
So now it's day 2 of range day, and the booths for MOA were starting to come together. Later, we had set up the Sabre booth, but first Liam wanted a shot of the HPA M20, so I lent him my range day pass to go in. After Liam had had his fun, we left Ernie to man the range and went to check out the booth. We had a blaster wall of M20s, a blaster wall of Apex Primes, Sabre B cars, cores, and Sabre mag belts and pouches on display. Also, if you ever get a dart stuck in a B car, here's one technique you might already be familiar with from similar activities.
Get stuck inside, what you do? Blow? No, don't blow. Just do this. Just do this. It will come up.
Now, Conrad, who'd been spending time with his family, called past the booth at the end of the evening to inspect our work. Liam, Ashley, and myself headed out to a night market. Ashley is Sabre's new social media manager, and to Liam and I, it was like having a personal translator and guide while we were in Taipei. At the night market, we tried our hands at an airsoft balloon game, walking away sadly empty-handed, though I swear they somehow scam you on those. I saw one of my BBs bounce off of a balloon. Not sure how it would do that. Then we tried one of the local delicacies called stinky tofu, named such after the fact that you can smell it from more than a block away, and it ain't a great smell. Honestly though, it just tastes like normal tofu, only with a putrid smell to it.
Good?
Yeah.
From there, we reached the other end of the night market and headed back to the hotel because tomorrow was the big day for MOA. In the morning, we arrived 2 hours before the opening of MOA and made some final touches to the booth. Range day had concluded the night before, so blasters that we were using up there could now come down here for display. Someone had also found a place selling Singapore flags, which Conrad got right to hanging up. Liam was repping us Australians with his shoulder patch and had a right to be proud considering he was exhibiting his cores that he designed today. While Conrad made his final touches hanging up the HPA blasters from range day, Liam and I headed over to the entrance because the gates were about to open. Now, I wasn't quite sure how much excitement people would have over Airsoft, but you can see these 2 guys were running for it, so they must really love it. Back at the booth, Ernie was all geared up and blasters were set on the table, ready to answer a host of questions from puzzled airsofters. Liam and I decided to go for another walk around the floor, and we spotted these guys. For anyone who has ever asked me what scope I use in my videos, well, here's your answer. Taiwan also had a setup for their military recruitment. We found there's an Airsoft 1887 and some very nice replica flintlocks. I found some very nice Walthers, wishing we had those in gel blaster form so it could be an Australian James Bond. Someone had also set up a thermal vision Airsoft sentry turret, which was really cool. Conrad invited me for a walk with him while he networked with some other vendors. He took particular interest in a CO2 vendor who could be one potential path for Sabre to ditch the airline on their HPA blasters, especially considering how many different shapes and sizes there are of CO2 bulbs. I took Ernie over to hold this bolt action that HoloSun were exhibiting, putting suggestions in his head for a future blaster perhaps. We'll have to see. Directly behind our booth were some Roman soldiers, which Ernie could not resist getting a photograph with. We decided to go visit Milsig, who have seemed to dial back their Nerf projects, going back to a more focus on paintball. But they were actually positioned essentially right next to our booth. Speaking of our booth, it was buzzing with people wanting to hold the blasters, and just like at any Nerf event around the world, we were all happy answering questions and talking about our hobby to anyone who would listen. Justin arrived from Singapore, who you might remember from previous Silent Night videos. Ashley found us some popcorn, which was fitting considering right at that moment, yet another person asked to get shot by Nerf.
You can feel it, and you'll know you got shot, and there's no denying that. Say, oh, I got, no, you didn't, that's great, but you feel it.
Go.
We got to meet Mark from All the Darts in the UK, by far the furthest traveller for this year's Nerf event. Check out his store if you live in the UK. Also, Rex handed me a new kind of rifling to try. It's a hybrid of a P car and a B car, which I'll make a video on at some point in the future. Overall, there seemed to be quite a bit of interest in our Nerf display, considering it was an Airsoft convention after all. However, we didn't have time to stick around for the following days of MOA. Instead, we actually hired other people to man our booth because it was time for us to head off to Miaoli for a 2-day event playing Nerf at an absolutely astonishingly large, multi-story, multi-building Airsoft complex. But that's a story for next time. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, all of that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss parts 2 and 3. If you like Nerf gameplay, especially long-range sniper kills, you've got plenty of those and more to look forward to in the coming videos. That's it for today. See you on the next one.